Welcome back to GH Always channel. Today we will learn about the intricate web of relationships, betrayals, and emergencies unfolding in Port Charles that has everyone on edge. The devastating confession Brooke Lynn Chase stands at the precipice of heartbreak, her eyes welling with tears as she watches Harrison Chase's world crumble before her. The revelation that Dante Falconeri is the father of her unborn child has sent shockwaves through their relationship, leaving Chase visibly shaken and unable to process this life-altering information. "This changes everything," Chase exclaims, his voice breaking with emotion as he paces the room, running his fingers through his hair in frustration. The weight of this confession hangs heavy in the air between them. Brooke Lynn's guilt is palpable as she reaches for him, only to have him pull away. She never intended to hurt him this deeply, but the truth couldn't remain hidden forever. The timing couldn't be worse. Dante isn't just any man in Port Charles. He's Chase's partner at the PCPD, a complication that adds layers of professional awkwardness to an already personal catastrophe. The professional fallout, the police department dynamics will inevitably shift. How can Chase maintain his professional relationship with Dante knowing he's fathered Brooke Lynn's child? Their partnership, once built on trust and mutual respect, now stands on shaky ground. Fellow officers have already noticed the tension between them, with whispers circulating through the precinct about the source of their strained interactions. Brooke Lynn fears this revelation might be the final blow to their relationship. The trust they've carefully built over months has been shattered in an instant. As she watches Chase struggle with this new reality, she wonders if some broken things simply can't be fixed. Lulu's emotional dilemma. Meanwhile, across town, Lulu Spencer finds herself in a complex emotional state as she sits with Dante. Her conflicted feelings manifest in a heartfelt question. "Does this make me a selfish jerk?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. Charlotte Cassadine's return has brought immeasurable joy to their family, creating a sense of wholeness they haven't felt in years. With Charlotte and Rocco Falconeri settled back into their routine, the family picture is nearly complete, except for one crucial piece: Dante's full commitment. The path to reconciliation. Lulu understands that healing takes time. The trauma they've both endured has left scars that won't fade overnight. She's willing to be patient, to give Dante the space he needs to take that next step, but the waiting weighs heavily on her heart. Their history together is complicated, filled with separations, heartbreaks, and near-death experiences. Yet through it all, their connection has remained unbroken. Now, as they sit together in comfortable silence, the possibility of a true reunion seems tantalizingly close, if only Dante can find the courage to embrace it fully. Brad's desperate plea in a dingy motel room far from the familiar halls of General Hospital. Brad Cooper paces frantically, his phone pressed tightly against his ear. His desperation is evident in every hurried word and nervous glance toward the door. "Please, you have to help me," he pleads into the phone, his voice cracking with urgency. "I don't know who else to turn to." The Miami conference has drawn most of his colleagues away from Port Charles, leaving Brad isolated in his moment of crisis. The person on the other end of the line isn't responding with the urgency Brad clearly needs, compounding his anxiety. The unanswered call. Is he reaching out to Lucas Jones, his former love? If so, his timing couldn't be worse. Lucas's phone lies silent, perhaps turned off or simply drowned out by the sounds of unexpected companionship. Brad's situation appears increasingly dire with each unanswered call. The motel room walls seem to close in around him as he contemplates his limited options. Whatever trouble he's found himself in, it's serious enough to have him hiding away from his normal life, seeking help from someone who doesn't seem eager to provide it. Lucas's morning after. The harsh morning light streams through unfamiliar curtains as Lucas Jones slowly regains consciousness. His head pounds with the aftermath of a night spent drinking heavily at the bar, a night that has clearly ended somewhere unexpected. As he struggles to orient himself, the door opens to reveal Marco, whose casual greeting, "How are you feeling, sleepyhead?" confirms Lucas's growing suspicion that last night's events crossed boundaries he hadn't intended to cross. The unexpected connection. Embarrassment washes over Lucas as fragments of memory return. Marco isn't just any random encounter. He's the son of powerful figures Natalia Ramirez and Jens Sidwell, and serves as an attorney at Sidwell's company, connections that could complicate matters significantly. This unexpected liaison raises questions about Lucas's emotional state. Is he truly moving on from Brad? Or was this simply a moment of weakness fueled by alcohol and loneliness? As he gathers his belongings and attempts to piece together the events of the previous night, Lucas must confront not only his actions but the feelings behind them. A life-threatening emergency. The sterile halls of General Hospital buzz with urgent activity as Jack Brennan and Anna Devane stand vigil, their faces etched with concern. Carly Spencer lies in critical condition, the victim of polonium poisoning from champagne served in Jack's Metro Court suite. The antidote needs to arrive soon, Anna murmurs to Brennan, her experienced eyes assessing Carly's deteriorating condition. Having witnessed similar poisonings in the past, notably those affecting Jerry Jacks and Luke Spencer, Anna understands the gravity of the situation better than most. The family's right to know. In a nearby consultation room, Willow Corinthos argues passionately for Carly's family to be informed of her condition. They deserve to know, she insists, her voice rising with emotion. This could be goodbye. But Brennan remains firm in his decision to keep the situation contained, citing security concerns that override even family ties. His authority as a high-ranking official effectively silences further protests, though the ethical implications of his decision hang heavy in the air. Jocelyn's secret mission. Unaware of her mother's life-threatening condition, Jocelyn Jacks continues her WSB training under the watchful eye of her handler, Vaughn. The weight of secrecy bears down on her as Vaughn reminds her of the confidential nature of her real mission. Remember, no one can know why you're really here, Vaughn emphasizes, his tone leaving no room for argument. The difficult choice. Jack Brennan now faces a critical decision. Bring Jocelyn back to Port Charles to be with her potentially dying mother, or keep her focused on her training with a possible assignment to investigate Valentine, the suspected poisoner. The stakes couldn't be higher, a daughter's right to say goodbye to her mother balanced against a mission that could prevent future attacks. As Brennan weighs these options, the clock continues to tick on Carly's condition, making every moment of deliberation potentially costly. Sasha's warning to Jason. At the Quartermain mansion, an unexpected alliance forms as Sasha Corbin pulls Jason Morgan aside for a private conversation. What began as a discussion about her pregnancy has evolved into something far more urgent. A warning about Michael Corinthos being in danger. I didn't ask you here just about the baby, Sasha confesses, her hand protectively cradling her growing bump. It's Michael. He's in trouble, Jason. Family power struggles. The joy of seeing her baby's ultrasound was quickly overshadowed by her inadvertent involvement in Tracy Quartermain's latest family power play. Despite being caught in the crossfire, Sasha expresses genuine concern for the family she's become entangled with. The tension between Drew Quartermain and other family members has escalated to dangerous levels, with the family crypt somehow becoming a focal point of the conflict. Sasha fears that Drew and Willow might take drastic actions that could harm Michael, even from a distance, driven by ambitions that have clouded their judgment. Valentine's dangerous gambit. In a tense standoff at Sonny's residence, Valentine finds himself staring down the barrel of Sonny's gun after being caught breaking into the house. His mission to retrieve fake passports from a hidden lockbox has been abruptly interrupted by the one man in Port Charles you least want to cross. Did you forget something? Sonny had asked with dangerous calm, his weapon unwavering. Now, as silence stretches between them, Sonny's follow-up question hangs in the air. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue. Valentine, ever the strategist even with his life on the line, recognizes an opportunity. Information is currency in Port Charles, and he possesses knowledge that could be valuable enough to save his life. Details about the firebombing that left Michael severely burned in Sonny's penthouse. Next, we will learn about the dramatic and potentially deadly events unfolding in Port Charles during what should have been a festive St. Patrick's Day celebration in 2025. A St. Patrick's Day nightmare. The Emerald holiday turned ominous when what should have been a romantic evening between Carly and Brennan spiraled into a life-threatening medical emergency. Following their intimate encounter, Carly was delighted to discover a champagne delivery to Brennan's room. A seemingly thoughtful gesture that would soon reveal itself as something far more sinister. Eager to continue their celebration, Carly indulged in a full glass of the supposed champagne while Brennan was still showering. As she began pouring her second glass, Brennan emerged just in time to notice something amiss with the bottle's label. His quick thinking and immediate action, knocking the glass from her hand, came tragically too late, as Carly had already consumed enough of the tainted liquid to cause her to collapse. The hidden observer. Unknown to the panicking couple, Valentine lurked outside the door, witnessing the horrifying consequences of his failed plot. The poisoning, clearly intended for someone else, had inadvertently targeted Carly instead. As realization dawned on Valentine's face, genuine remorse appeared to wash over him. A rare display of conscience from the typically calculating character. Brennan, demonstrating remarkable composure under pressure, swiftly arranged for Carly's transportation to General Hospital. The emergency department sprang into action, with Dr. Isaiah and Willow taking charge of Carly's treatment. For Willow, the shock of seeing her mother-in-law wheeled in unconscious added personal anguish to an already tense medical situation. The deadly diagnosis. While the medical team worked feverishly to stabilize Carly's deteriorating condition, Brennan made a crucial call to the one person whose expertise and discretion he could trust implicitly: Anna. Her arrival coincided with the devastating diagnosis: polonium poisoning, a particularly lethal and insidious toxin. Historical echoes. This isn't Port Charles's first encounter with this deadly substance. Devoted followers of the town's tumultuous history will recall the polonium poisoning that affected both Luke and Jerry years ago. That incident set in motion a chain of events that led Luke to abandon Port Charles in search of treatment, only to return as his alter ego Fluke, a manifestation of his dissociative identity disorder triggered by the trauma and physical effects of the poisoning. The parallels between these cases raise alarming questions about potential long-term consequences for Carly. Should she survive the immediate threat? Will this poisoning leave lasting physical damage? Could it trigger psychological repercussions similar to Luke's experience? Desperate measures. While the hospital staff fought to save Carly's life, Valentine executed his contingency plan, breaking into his former residence to secure new identities and travel documents for himself and Charlotte. His escape strategy, however, hit an unexpected and dangerous obstacle when he found himself staring down the barrel of Sonny's gun. A volatile confrontation. The face-off between these two powerful and dangerous men creates a powder keg situation. Sonny, with his unwavering loyalty to Carly despite their complicated history, would undoubtedly react with extreme prejudice if he discovers Valentine's role in her poisoning. Valentine, cornered and desperate, might be forced to reveal the truth about the intended target and his motivations. This confrontation represents a critical juncture for both characters. For Sonny, it's another test of his evolving approach to conflict resolution. Will he revert to his mobster instincts or pursue justice through other channels? For Valentine, it could mean the difference between escape and retribution, between maintaining his relationship with Charlotte and losing everything. The poisoning has set in motion a potentially transformative chain of events that could reshape alliances, reveal hidden agendas, and test the resilience of Port Charles's most enduring characters. As the situation develops, the true extent of the damage, both physical and emotional, remains to be seen. The confrontation between Valentine and Sunny stands as the immediate flashpoint, with the potential to explode in numerous directions. Will Valentine's remorse earn him any mercy? Will Sunny's investigation lead him to the truth about the poisoning? And perhaps most importantly, will Carly survive to have any say in what happens next? The coming days in Port Charles promise to be filled with tension, revelation, and potentially life-altering consequences for everyone involved in this St. Patrick's Day tragedy.